Welcome everyone to today's live. I'm going to be talking about how to balance the metal element with facial reflexology. I'm going to be sharing a facial map. So if you have your tool, your facial reflexology tool, you can use something like this. It's available on my site, or you can use anything with a rounded blunt tip, such as a tip of a makeup brush or crochet hook. And I'm going to let some of you join. Hello. Welcome. I'm coming on to share a facial reflexology map to help balancing the metal element, which is all about the fall season that we're in right now. And this element governs the lungs and large intestine, and it's responsible for our skin health, or especially our skin health. And yeah, of course, the lungs and large intestine. So detoxification, discoloration of the skin tightening. It's responsible for sagging of the skin as well, because if we are depleted or if we are holding on to stagnant emotions or energy, it's going to weigh the face down. So this is a really beautiful formula to also help release emotions of sadness and grief, which we hold it in these organs, the lungs and large intestine. And if you want to dive deeper into this element, I have a beautiful workshop that is now uploaded in my Wild Sacred Beauty membership space. It's live. It's a beautiful workshop. I share not just facial reflexology, but also somatic practices to help you get more regulated, balanced in your body and release these emotions with different techniques that I share on there, as well as more in-depth knowledge of this element and how it shows up when it's in balance and out of balance. Welcome. So I want to get started. I'm going to save this live so you can watch it anytime you need it, to either just get you more balanced, get you feeling more grounded, releasing and get those emotions of sadness and grief, helping to strengthen the lungs, the immune system. Again, discoloration, dark circles. This can help with skin dehydration. So if you have really dry, dehydrated skin, this is going to be a very powerful formula. And you can repeat it as many times as you need throughout the day. I've been doing this formula because we are in that season of fall right now. So it's a great time to nourish and take care of these organs that are the most active right now during this season of fall. So it's really about releasing, letting go, renewal. What are you letting in? What do you need to release that's weighing you down? Okay. And that reveals on the face, right? Stagnant emotions, energetic blockages on the face, it all reveals and causes blockages. Even if it's not a physical block, but an emotional block, energetic block, it'll cause blockage of chi. In Chinese medicine, it's also known as life force energy. You want to keep that flow going. Okay, and that's what facial reflexology does. It helps to improve chi flow, energy flow, blood flow, regulate the nervous system, because if your nervous system is regulated, everything is working in homeostasis. Someone's asking, can they use a gua sha if they don't have the tool that I'm holding? So if you don't have the tool, depending on your gua sha, the shape, you can use it. For example, the gua sha that I have, that I designed, the Alchemist gua sha tool, it does have like a pointy end here and here. So if you have this tool, you can definitely use something like this because it has a tip, like a pointed tip. You want to be able to have something that you can detect the points with. Okay, so if you don't have this, like I said, you can use either your knuckle, this part right here, the bony part, or you can use anything with a rounded blunt tip, like the tip of a makeup brush, as long as it has a smooth, rounded end. Okay. And as always, before we begin, we always set an intention with facial reflexology and do some mindful breath, like breath work session. Like I really like to get the body first regulated, because the more regulated you are, the more you're able to really benefit from this practice. I will need to purchase your kit. Thank you. You're so welcome. Yeah, the kit. I love the kit. I have many different kits. I have a kit that includes the gua sha, the reflexology, the oil. I have different kits, so definitely check out the starter kits if you're new to this. The one that I love, I think it's called the Mirror Work, and it's this one and the Mirror Gua Sha tool. I don't have. Do I have it here? No, I don't have it here. Okay. So we're gonna get started. Always set an intention. Keep the tip of the tool, make sure it's warm. Okay, make sure your legs are also not crossed, very important, because you want to keep chi flowing. And it's best to wear loose, comfortable clothing as well. Okay, so set your intention and begin just by taking a couple deep breaths in through the nose. As you breathe in, expand your belly. And as you breathe out through the mouth, bring the navel in towards the spine. This is going to help to begin activating the parasympathetic state to promote that rest and digest state. Because our bodies heal when we're in that state of rest, not fight or flight. So your skin specifically, it's really governed by this element. And so it's a big indication whether you have an imbalance with this element, in particular with your lungs and large intestine. Okay. So breathe in, breathe out, a couple breaths, mindful, gentle breaths, very, very intentional. Deep breath in and slow exhale. Really lengthen your exhale. It's almost like prepping yourself for this practice and like not just rushing in through it, but like, or into it, just really being mindful, intentional with this practice, because it's all about your intentionality. And the more you are in your body and sensing your body, the more you're able to really sense the points of interest that will begin to be activated as you stimulate this tool on your skin. And when you notice those areas that feel a little bit more tingly, that's an indication of where there's a blockage. And you want to stay there a little bit longer and just breathe through it, but very mindfully and gently, okay? Okay, so once you're ready, we're going to begin by starting. I'm going to show you where. We're going to start at the ears, okay? So right along the side of your ears here, you're just going to do circles, okay? Continue breathing. You're going to do that for about 20 to 30 seconds, and then you're going to repeat the same on the other side. Continue to take deep breaths, as this is going to help to get you more in a state of rest. And the better this will work as well. Because if you're holding your breath, you're in fight or flight, and everything, your system freezes. And your system, everything is not functioning, and there's not a proper blood flow going through your organs and lungs, right? Large intestine. So breath is very, very, very important. Okay. From there, we're going to glide all along to the middle here of the brow. Breathe. Next, we're going to work on the sides here. So right next to the center of, in between the brows, right where the brow begins, right here, these 2 points, or call them zones. Don't worry too much about being precise. Just work the whole zone. And breathe deeply. Continue breathing. Notice what comes up. Notice if any sensation you begin to feel. Notice if the skin maybe turns a little bit more red. If you have a mirror, it's even better that you can use a mirror to look at if you see changes of color in the skin. For those of you just joining, we are covering the metal element formula with facial reflexology to help balance the lungs and large intestine and help to release some of the emotions of sadness and grief that these organs hold, but also helping with skin dehydration, complexion, lightening the complexion, toning of the skin. Then we're going to work the point right here, like right in the middle of the brow, right above it. You can either do like circles right there, or you can just glide back and forth along right above the brow. Just feel into it intuitively. This is very intuitive on your end when it comes to facial reflexology. and slow rhythmic motions. Breathe. Don't rush it. Okay. Next, we're going to work point here, 61. Breathe lightly. And this point is right where the nostril kind of begins to curve. That area right there. But again, don't worry too much about being precise. Just work that whole area. Next, we're going to just work around the nostrils right here, just gliding alongside them. We're working on the lungs and large intestine for those who are just joining. And then point 3, which is right at the center of your cheek. So if you want to line it up, it's right underneath your nose, in line with the pupil of your eye. So right where the middle of the cheek is, that center point, that's where it is. But again, you can just work this whole zone. And breathe. And if you have any type of breakouts or skin irritation, just avoid the area. You can work around it. So if you have, let's say, a pimple, you can just work around the pimple, and actually will help promote healing because you're increasing the energy flow and blood flow and lymph. So if there's any stagnation, it'll just help to move that along and speed up the recovery. Remember, light pressure. Same on the other side. Slow, intentional movements. Okay. Next, we're going to work the point right here, 60, which is kind of on the outer corner of your eye. It's like the most highest point of your cheekbone. But again, just work this whole zone. And this is a big chest, breast projection point too. So lungs, chest area. Someone's asking, where can I get this roll I'm using, tool? It's available on my website. The link is in bio, wildlilyorganics.com. I don't use oil when it comes to facial reflexology. No products is best. Unless you have really dry skin, then you can apply a little bit of an oil. But working with this formula will help to activate your internal moisturizer, and it will lighten your complexion, or even out your complexion, because you're helping to detox your body, improving the detoxification process. And so that helps with eliminating, right, toxic waste buildup that can accumulate and show underneath the skin. You're so welcome. And I think someone asked, I'll go back to the questions. I'll answer some questions at the end. I'll go back and review them. So if you have any questions, you can type them in and I'll answer them at the end. Very good. Like here, I feel like so sometimes these points of interest will manifest differently for some, like for me right now, I feel like a very zingy, tingling sensation. So when you find those points, you want to stay there a little bit longer and just breathe. All right, next we're going to work back to close it off around the ears, alongside the ears. You can either do glide like up and down beside the ear, or you can do circles. And then the same on the other side. Remember, light, gentle pressure. In case you're just joining, so I'm gliding alongside my ear here. this whole zone. Very good. And we're all set. Like, I already feel, I don't know how you guys are feeling. Would love to know in the comments below how you're feeling after just doing a, like, I don't know, was it 5 minutes? Not even, of balancing the metal elements with facial reflexology. Would love to know. Also, I encourage you to, after you do facial reflexology, to maybe journal or just sit in like a moment of stillness, silence kind of meditation. Maybe drink some tea. Just really take it easy. Like, don't rush back into just regular activities. Let whatever you just activated to really kind of sink in and marinate. Deeply relaxing and therapeutic. Thank you. So glad you are experiencing that. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, I'm feeling a little high. That's why I'm obsessed with this. It's magical. That's why I call it the magic wand, because it's truly magical. Okay, let me go to questions. Someone asked about which oil I recommend. Somebody asked, does it matter in which direction you do the circles? And the answer is no. Listen to your intuition, trust it. Your body knows what it's doing. But you have to feel into it, and you will. Like, the more you practice this, the more you begin to actually strengthen your intuition, because you begin to connect back to your body. You begin to feel more regulated, more grounded, present, and you'll be able to really feel into what feels right at that present moment, because every day is going to be unique and different, and every day the activation is going to be different. Sometimes, I've done this practice and I feel like sharp pains on my right leg, or sensations in different parts of my body, and other days I don't. Some days, certain points that feel really tender, and then they don't, and as I continue to work on that specific system or formula or element, the more at ease, like more ease, it's more easy, and it's just more ease. I don't know how to explain it. The less tenderness it'll feel as well. And that's an indication that you're really balancing that system or element. And then somebody said, what kind of oil do I recommend for mature, oily, prone skin? That's a tricky one. As long as, I think that you have to kind of experiment when it comes to oily skin, because some oils or some products, like, depending on their ingredients, it could just aggravate your skin. It could just act, it can be like an allergic reaction too. So I would say trial and error with that one, but I love the Goddess Glow oil that I have available on my website. I think it's currently sold out. It's going to be back in stock soon, so just keep checking for updates, and I'll update on my stories as well when it's back in stock. But it's really one of my favorite oils. I use it, and I have oily prone skin, but I use it selectively on different parts of my face, because certain parts of my face are a little bit more sensitive and reactive, so I don't apply it there. I usually use the Goddess Glow oil like more on my cheeks or on my eyes. I use it as my eye serum. I use it as a cuticle serum as well. I use it as a hand kind of serum. I love the Goddess Glow oil. It's really great for stimulating lymphatic drainage, supporting the lymphatic system. It helps with lightening. It helps with firming the skin, because of the frankincense oil and geranium and sandalwood. They're all really great at improving, enhancing the skin's texture. Okay. And it's based with golden jojoba, which is the closest oil to our natural sebum, so it won't cause clogging of the pores. So out of all the oils, that's the best when it comes to non-clogging or non-comedogenic. It's the most gentlest too. And it's naturally antioxidant, like rich, super antioxidant rich. Someone asking, what's my sign? I don't know what this song just came in my head when I hear, what's your sign? Leo, Sun in Leo, Moon Taurus, Ascending Scorpio. We're going to get into astrology now. I don't know. But let me know if you have any more questions regarding this particular formula. I do want to mention the only contraindication is if you're pregnant, but this formula is safe for pregnancy because the only area on the face you have to avoid during pregnancy is your upper lip. That's it. When it comes to facial reflexology, any other part of the face is safe to work on. All right, I'm going to save this live, like I said, so you guys can have it as a reference. You can come back and review anytime you need it to give you, again, a nice, gentle boost, especially when it comes to hydrating the skin, taking care of the skin from within and activating that internal moisturizer and promoting a more even toned complexion and, helping you to kind of release some of these emotions of sadness and grief. But also, I highly recommend the workshop Balance the Metal Element. It's now available on the Wild Sacred Beauty membership site. And it's actually the last of the 5 element flow series, which I'm really excited. It's finally completed. So there's 5 elements when it comes to, Chinese medicine. There's this theory called 5 element theory. And I did a series of each of the elements. So water was first, wood, fire, earth, and this was metal. So now they're all available, which I'm really, really excited. And so this is a great time to actually take care of the metal element during this fall season to prepare for the winter that's coming up. So this is a great way to prepare for that season. There's a preparation. There's a way to really reap, let's say, the benefits when it comes to the winter season to be more in balance. It's all about creating balance from within when it comes to Chinese medicine and Vietnamese medicine and facial reflexology. Somebody said, is there a point of diminishing returns? I'm finding myself wanting to continue and want to be mindful as to not overdo it. I'm not sure if I understand too much of the question. I think I'm understanding that you want to maybe be more mindful and not overdo things. I'm not sure if I understand your question, but if you can re-enter, maybe there was a typo. Maybe 2. There isn't all these points. There's over 500 points with just facial reflexology, and there's over 20 maps with just facial reflexology. And some of these maps were discovered by scientists that studied different nerve endings that connected to the central nervous system, to the brain, and the stimulations that they were activating inside the brain and the rest of the body. So that's just with facial reflexology. That's not even including acupuncture. That's not including acupressure maps and points, because they're all different. Acupressure or acupuncture works more with the meridians. Facial reflexology works more with the central nervous system. But there's some blends. There are some maps that blend both nervous system and meridians. All right, loves. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. So you can't really overdo a point. Yes and no. I say follow your intuition. I say 30 is a safe number. 20, 30 is a safe number. 20 to 30 seconds on each of the points. Now, if you're working a whole zone, let's say, for example, let's say you're working the cheeks, right? It's a bigger zone. So there you can spend a little bit longer. But if you're working a smaller point, right, then 20, 30 seconds is max. It's really all you need. So that's why you don't want to overdo it. Because you can activate too much the parasympathetic state, and that's not good either. Okay. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for being here. I hope you enjoy this. If you're watching the recording after I've saved it, I would love to know in the comments below how you're feeling after balancing the metal elements. And again, if you really want to deepen your knowledge, I highly, highly recommend checking out the workshop inside the Wild Sacred Beauty membership space. The link in bio gives you access for 2 weeks free. And so you can try out the workshop, see how you like the space, and you can opt out anytime. It's month to month. Anywho, thank you again for being here. Sending you all so much love.